right, I have in my hands a light news day today, guys. I mean, comparative to what we're used to. You know, no major bombaroos today that I'm aware of. You know, we're used to like, oh my God, by 2 o'clock, you believe what's going on, right?
Right.
It's a quiet news day.
Schmoozing might be a little bit of a breeze in 2021. I'm hoping, seeing as we'll be shifting the main characters.
I don't know. I think this crybaby's going to be around for a while. He's going to be crying way into 2021. Crybaby,
yeah,
right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Crybaby. I like that.
Meanwhile, Trump administration officials, crybaby administration officials,
There you go.
as well as some political appointees who recently left, have quietly started to reach out to President-elect Joe Biden's transition team. The outreach is a sign that Trump's refusal to concede the election and the continued obstruction from the White House is beginning to frustrate even those connected to the administration. Biden and his team remain locked out of access to contacts with the federal agencies. You know, the bottom line is this. If Biden isn't ready to go on day one, it's going to be Trump's fault. Trump is taking military people out of Afghanistan. He is barring Biden from having any transition. Nobody, when Biden is going to take office, as of this moment, he's going to know as much as you and I know about what's going on with the government because Trump is sharing nothing with him.
He's such a petty.
Yeah.
He's petty. King petty.
King petty. King crybaby. Yeah. Now, former White House officials who left the administration a few months ago said that he has personally emailed someone who he expects to be back in the Biden administration in a similar role. Other current administration officials have confirmed there's been some informal outreach, nothing that would get us in trouble with the crybaby. Now, John Kelly, he used to be Trump's chief of staff. He came out today and he said that any further delay in Trump sharing information with Biden is going to hurt our national security. This is a Republican and this is a former chief of staff under Donald Trump. He said, Kelly, you lose a lot if the transition is delayed because the new people are not allowed to get their head in the game. Kelly said that Biden should be receiving intelligence briefings because the transition in the national security realm in particular and the homeland security realm is just so important. And even health experts are also calling the pandemic a humanitarian crisis. Biden is getting no information about what the government is doing to combat this. He is going to be going in, basically, as the President of the United States, absolutely blind. Now, even according to an internal email obtained by BuzzFeed News, an official at USCIS, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, they told employees not to communicate with the President-elect Joe Biden's transition team until a Trump appointee deems the results clear.
That can't be ongoing. There's going to have to be a point where he's going to have to suck it up and know that this is reality. And in order to make America great again, the new president-elect will need to know what he was working on. So I'm staying tuned.
Trump doesn't care about making America great again. The entire concept of make America great again is BS. It's make Trump great for the first time. I want to know when actually Trump thinks America, no one's ever asked him this question. When was America great? You know, we're making it great again.
Right, so we're going to go back
I don't know. I thought it was pretty great under Obama. It was pretty good. You know, in the 90s, it was pretty good.
I felt good.
Yeah, we had a rough patch with 9/11, but, you know, didn't necessarily love the policies of W, but it was pretty good.
I think America to him was great, like civil rights and before.
I mean, to me, now it's bad.
When minorities didn't have any power or land or work or anything, I think that's when America was great for him.
To me, it's bad now. I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's horrible now.
Does anybody walk around and like, yeah, great year 2020. It's bad now.
It's probably the worst in history. I feel like this is one of the worst years ever.
And I don't know if America, you know, not that I'm not patriotic. I still think the United States of America is the greatest country in the world. But I don't know any country is great. There's always improvement. There's always things to do better. We talk about it here every day, whether it's with civil rights, social justice, immigration. So, I mean, I don't know if there was ever a time when we were great, pretty good, could have always done better. and much better than anywhere else. That's how I look at the United States of America. I'm curious when he thinks America was great. Nobody's ever asked him that.
I'm surprised that nobody's ever asked him that.
I've never seen him ask that.
Yeah, like what were you basing this brand concept on?
Right. When was America great?
Donald.
When was it great? I don't know when it was. But now, he's also had these lawsuits in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, in Georgia with the recounts. And I was thinking about, why is he doing this? What do you think the purpose is of him doing this? He knows he lost.
I really want to know that answer too.
He's got to know he lost. So he's not doing it just for the sake of doing it. There is, that's a picture of Pumpkin, former Pumpkin, now Crybaby. There he is. He's gray-haired Crybaby now. He's got to be doing it for a reason, because as much as we malign Donald Trump as a politician and as somebody who manipulates people, he's very good. Very good manipulator, very good politician. Oh, yeah. He gets people to believe him and follow him. So
gets people to lie for him.
Yeah, so he's got to be doing it for a reason. I saw on CNN, I don't know if this is true or not, because it's just, one guy I saw. Anthony Scaramucci I saw on CNN last night on Don Lemon. And Don Lemon asked him that question. He goes, why do you think Trump's doing this? He had something interesting to say. He said, for 3 reasons. 1, he wants to show the Republicans that he's still in charge and he's still in control. So after he leaves office, that he will still be running the Republican Party. So he wants to see who's in his corner, who's not, who he can count on, who he can't, and show that even as a lame duck president, people are jumping when Donald Trump barks.
Wow.
The second reason is he needs to raise a lot of money. Now, there's been a lot of articles, especially an expose in the New York Times, about how much debt he is in, and that he actually ran for president because he was in debt. He got in debt because after The Apprentice, he owes like $400 or $500 million apparently, according to some articles in the New York Times. And those debts are coming up, and he owes it internationally to China, Russia, everywhere. So, but nobody knows the exact amounts. But everybody, the unspoken thing in Washington is this guy owes a lot of money. So he is raising a lot of money for his fight to overturn the election. But how much money is he actually going to use to overturn the election? And how much money...
So what, he's going to pocket the rest?
I don't know. How much money is his little claws going to go in when nobody's looking to try to pay off his debt? That's what Anthony Scaramucci said. I don't know if it's a fact or not, but he said he's raising money to pay off his debt. And then finally, the third reason is, and I don't know if any of this is true, I'm just repeating what I saw.
Right.
Okay? And by the way, those who don't remember who Anthony Scaramucci is, he was the mooch. He was the guy who was the communications director for Donald Trump for like 8 days. And he was screaming and yelling at everybody. If you remember, little short guy screaming and yelling at everybody. And the last thing he said, so I guess he knows a little bit. He was in the administration for 8 days. So he knows more than us, obviously.
Right.
And the last thing he said was that Trump is honestly scared of all of the investigations that are going on around him in the U.S. Attorney's Office, in the New York State District Attorney's Office, the various civil litigations that he's going up against. There's 7 different civil litigations. We know of at least 2 criminal investigations, one by the New York State Attorney General, one by the Manhattan District Attorney. There could be others that we don't know about. As part of the Mueller report, Mueller said that Trump may have done something illegal and criminal, but he can't be charged as a sitting president. But maybe somebody's looking into it after he's no longer president. We don't know.
He won't have that. He won't have that safety net.
He won't have that safety net.
He's not protected, right?
Right. So what protects him? The only thing that protects him is his political buddies. So he has to stay in control of the Republican Party to avoid going to jail. But you know what happened? In my opinion, you know what's going to happen? He's not going to have power anymore. And people are going, I'll tell you, want to know an amazing thing that happened? this week? Okay.
What?
Two things. Two things.
Something good, Brad. Make it good.
Yeah. Two things that Donald Trump said why he should be president of the United States. Don't vote for Joe Biden. He said, if you vote for Joe Biden, the cities are going to be in flames and the stock market's going to crash. Those were his two big things. Vote for me for the economy, the stock market, and the city's going to be in flames. You know what's happened since Joe Biden became president? People were cheering. People were dancing. There's no flames anywhere.
None.
Zero.
Nope.
And you know what also happened this week? Stock market hit a new high. And Donald Trump is not going to be the president after January 20th.
There you go.
So the two reasons to vote for him didn't even come to fruition as of the moment.
I mean, we should have known that, though.
As of the moment.
As of the moment.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think he's doing all of this to keep power in the Republican Party, to protect himself against perhaps criminal lawsuits, civil lawsuits, raise money. I think Scaramucci's onto something. When I watched it, I said, you know what? It's his best answer that I heard.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, what's the reason?
I don't know.
But then he's also a child, so I was like,
Yeah, it also could be partly ego. I mean, there's no one reason, but you know, it's like a soup of reasons.
I was also thinking, right, like ego, and also knowing that he lost and still keeping America divided. Like, you know, it's almost like fuel to his followers. It's like, oh, look at them, they cheated, so we're gonna try and get it, and that's even making them even more mad. The fact that they're trying to get the house back and it doesn't happen. So it's like, you know, it's keeping America divided, and it's gonna show like, oh, just because Biden is here doesn't mean that peace is gonna come. Yeah. You know, I feel like he's just fueling his followers still. Yeah,
my theory was before Scaramucci. I didn't even tell you what my theory. My theory was that he just can't handle losing. So he has to come up with an alternative reality that he actually won and had the election stolen from him. So when he leaves, he can tell his followers and tell everybody, I'm a winner. I was always a winner. I even won this election, but for it being stolen from me. So that's why I thought he was doing it. But then Scaramucci, to me, had a better answer than I did. Because I don't know Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just, taking guesses.
Regardless of the fact you lost, buddy.
That's
bucko.
Right. Stop crying.
Yeah.
Stop crying, bucko.
Stop crying. I actually don't mind him crying.
I'm sorry.
My evil side.
I can't handle whiners. According to statistics, and this is very sad, we have now reached over 250,000 deaths, coronavirus deaths in the United States, and it's climbing. Statistics show that we may be close to 450,000 deaths by March of this year.
Wow.
And how?
Wow, look at that map.
And how? How used to it that we have gotten that people are dying and nobody cares. And
that's
the
scary part.
And nobody cares. People are dying. People are, rolled up in morgues, and nobody cares. And it's just a fact of life now. I mean, can you imagine, 440,000 deaths in 1 year? Okay, that's like a war. Can you imagine? Yep. Okay, we got people up in arms because immigrants were crossing the border to kill us. To kill us! Would they kill 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 10 people? I mean, I don't even think they could stand up a dozen people of people who got killed by an immigrant running across the border. Okay, and people were up in arms. It's the major number one thing we got to fight. 440,000 people. People go about their day. It's crazy.
Now, you know what I think is also pretty interesting as well is how the censorship around the conversation with rising numbers and things with COVID, as well as the solutions for COVID. Like if you guys have seen on Instagram, it's considered like sensitive activity, or all these platforms are censoring the information that's being exposed to us. I was seeing something about a vaccine, and before you're exposed to the post, it warns you that like none of it has been, proven, or that it's certain. And sometimes it's doctors going over what's happening in the world with these cases. And there's platforms that are censoring this information. So it's also a part of us to be aware and have conversations with one another and just be cautious. I feel like there are a lot of people that aren't taking COVID-19 very seriously. And, it's all depending on what information they're receiving.
And I just actually spoke to somebody today, just off the record, who said they don't, Pfizer came out and said 95%, the vaccine is 95% accurate, meaning 95% it's going to cure, it's going to save you from getting COVID. And they don't believe those numbers. They say it's all a lie. The vaccine's not going to work.
Who's they?
Just general person I spoke today. I go, why do you believe that? What information do you have that you would believe that these numbers are not accurate? They cherry pick the people who didn't get sick. I don't believe it. Nobody believes anything these days. And it goes back to, I'm like, but I said, okay, it's your opinion, but you can't go out and say your opinion is a fact. You have no fact to back it up.
Right.
I said, I hope you're wrong. Maybe you're right. I have no idea. I hope you're wrong. I said, but I can only go by the facts that we see them. And, we were talking.
When you live.
Let me just finish one second. We were talking yesterday, with Barack Obama. I think he was right on point. People are making opinion facts now. And everybody's opinion is now a fact.
Right.
When you have nothing to back up that fact. And that's what you're seeing here.
Yep.
I mean, when you live in a world where you feel like there could be cures for certain diseases, even cancer or whatever, there could be. We don't know. There are people like Dr. Sebi that have said, it's all how you eat, the different herbs and stuff that you take. But like when you live in a world where there are people out there that know more than you do, but they won't give you or won't bring out that cure because of pharmaceutical. Like that's money right there. The pharmacy, the drug business. So it's like you're living in that type of world. It makes it hard to believe that this is actually something that could cure COVID. So I don't want to say I think it's just the world we live in. It makes you like second guess everything.
Exactly.
And it's so hard. It's really hard because like you want to believe it, but like in the back of your mind is like, I could never trust the government. I can never trust it because they don't have our back or their best interests.
And by the way, you may be right. I don't know for a fact you're right or wrong, but again, everybody's making hypotheses, meaning that they're just coming up with a theory in their head. I have a theory in my head, and you know what? That must be correct. I have a theory in my head.
You can't do that.
Masks don't work. I must be correct. I have a theory in my head. These vaccines won't work. I must be correct. But that's not what science is. Science is you have a theory. Now you go out and test it. Test your theory.
And you prove it.
Prove it. Mm-hmm. Nobody's proven any of this to me. Even when you say, I spoke, this doctor came out and said they could have cured cancer. Yeah, prove it. Prove to me they could have cured cancer. It's very easy for you to say they could have cured cancer. Prove it to me.
Carol Anderson, the tiger, knows facts. Keep your distance, wear your mask, and you will be okay.
That is right.
I mean, it's easier said than done. We're doing this for almost a year now. It's hard. It's just a hard. This is a hard life that we're living this year.
Wacky world news around the world. There we are. One day, Yo-Yo and Vanessa will be able to get back in a plane and travel around the world. We hope that's sooner rather than later, right? The clumsy restoration job has left a historic Spanish sculpture of a woman looking like Donald Trump. Critics are now complaining. The renovated statue has been mocked relentlessly online as drawn comparisons with a 19th century painting of Jesus that was famously dubbed Monkey Christ after a devout church-goer tried to restore it in 2012. The statue has been dubbed the Potato Head of Palencia. Pictures of the botched job were posted on social media. The original 1923 sculpture of a smiling maiden surrounded by livestock now has a misshapen, lumpy nose, two uneven eyes, a melted-looking appearance, and looks just like the crybaby in the White House.
It didn't look that much
Did
like
it look like let's go back and see that picture one more time.
A little.
Let's see.
Yeah, the hair.
It's just the hair.
The hair and everything.
It's
look
at
that.
It's the hair and the eyes. It's the hair and the eyes. From the nose up. Yeah, from the nose up. The nose up, it looks like Trump. Nose down, no, but from the nose up, it looks like Trump. Looks like Alec Baldwin as Trump, actually, if you really wanted to ask me. Meanwhile, going to Peru. I always want to go to Peru, but I know it's going to be really crowded once the vaccine comes out. Police in Peru say a small-town mayor attempted to dodge capture for ignoring lockdown orders by hiding in a coffin and pretending to be dead. Jaime Torres, the mayor of Tantará, a rural district in Peru, was out drinking with friends Monday night when police came to enforce the curfew. By the time the authorities arrived, though, Torres was lying in an open casket pretending to be dead. And apparently the police found this so funny that they snapped a few pictures of the mayor's ruse. Officers were able to get Torres up, take the group to the station for questioning. On May 9th, residents called an emergency meeting to urge Torres to establish safety checks. Can you imagine?
That is a mood.
I'm gonna jump into the coffin and pretend I'm dead.
I wouldn't play like that. I'm sorry. I'm too much into like spirituality and all that. I don't play with that.
Yo-Yo would just keep running. Catch me if you can, right?
I ran track.
Right. Catch me if you can. Catch me if you can, right? You wouldn't do that. Right. Yeah, can you imagine? You imagine the cops are chasing you like, yeah.
That would be me.
Yeah. If you're missing airline food, guys, and I'm sure a lot of us are, if you're missing airline food, I have great news for you. Finnish airline is going to start selling their airplane food in supermarkets. Just in case you want to feel like you're flying in coach and you need like one of those microwave meals, well, now you can go to this local supermarket and get your 30,000 mile up in the sky Finnair meal.
I'm not even excited to eat it on the plane. Why would I want to eat it outside of the plane?
That is why it is on Wacky World News Thursday. Why would anybody want to do that?
Right.
Because it just don't make sense.
Some things just don't make sense, Yo-Yo. I have no idea. Exactly, Vanessa. All right, meanwhile, going to Kazakhstan. Tourism Board of Kazakhstan, they're embracing the new Borat movie by using the character's catchphrase, very nice. Very nice. In a series of campaign videos. Borat's subsequent movie film, the sequel to 2006's Borat, Cultural Learnings of America, stars Sacha Baron Cohen as a fictional Kazakh journalist, Borat, who takes numerous shots at the former Soviet country. The first movie was banned in Kazakhstan. They're embracing Borat. The video showed tourists experience the country's food, markets, cities, and landscapes. And each time at the end, the tourist goes, very nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
And they're just now doing this?
They're just now doing this.
Vanessa, that's obviously because, nobody's been traveling. So they're going to try and milk anything and everything they can.
Have you seen the Borat film?
The first one.
I've never watched those.
That's not your comedy. It's not your type of comedy.
Yeah, it's a weird type of comedy. I've seen the first one. It was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
The
second one was a lot also.
It's super random. It's very random.
It's really more shocking comedy because it's shock comedy, if anything. In other words, it's not. It's comedy that shocks you, and you're like, that is so politically incorrect. It's so politically shocking that I have to laugh because I can't believe anybody would ever be that politically incorrect, and that's shocking. And that's what.
Yeah, if you're sensitive,
if you're sensitive about that, then don't watch it. But
then don't watch it.
But that's what it is. Meanwhile, going to the UK because something always wacky. Wednesday and Thursdays we always get a story on Wednesday and Thursday from the UK.
And Thursday, always.
Yes. A thief in the UK who sold some stolen penguins on Facebook finally got to prison. The former bird keeper who stole a pair of penguins from a British zoo was sentenced to 32 months in prison. Bradley Tomez was sentenced by a judge of Preston Crown Court for taking penguins, Pablo and Penny. Prosecutors said Tomez broke into the zoo twice in 2018. It was the Lake Safari Zoo in northwest England. He was arrested after an animal collector who had bought the penguins for $11,000 contacted a vet because the animals were not in good health. Wendy Evans of the Crown Prosecution Service said Tomez showed utter disregard for the well-being of the penguins for financial gain. I don't know if that's wacky news or the guy deserves to be in jail for more than 32 months.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's over 2 years.
Yeah, you know what? You shouldn't be touching penguins. I was in South Africa.
The zoo shouldn't have penguins in there.
Well, that's a whole other story, but you shouldn't be stealing penguins from a zoo. Some people say, but I was in South Africa, and they're really, really cute, actually, the penguins. They're not cute so much in the zoo because they're smelly, but when I was in South Africa, there's a beach.
Cute, Yo-Yo, why are you making that face?
I forgot.
I don't like birds.
I forgot the name. I forgot the name of the beach I was on, but there was like 1,000 penguins on this beach, and they were so cute running around. They were like all their little tuxedos, running in the water, running out of the water. I'm like, I thought they were very cute, and when I hear that somebody's stealing little tuxedo penguins, it makes me a little sad.
Yeah. Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, Brad.
Is it a bird if they can't fly? Yo-Yo, it's not a bird if it can't fly.
Yeah.
I actually had a phobia of penguins since I was young because of Batman the movie.
I knew you were going to say that.
Danny DeVito played penguin.
I knew you were going to say that.
And the fact that there are penguins that could be like 6 feet tall, I probably would ish in my pants. Yeah. Like, I don't want nothing to do with penguins.
I'll get your Batman. Is that what you're saying?
How they just waddle over
right, yeah. A group of Japanese grandmothers have taken it upon themselves to protect their village from a recent onslaught of apes. The grandmas have joined together in defense of their local farmers' vegetables and produce that are under siege by apes.
Oh, whoa.
Calling themselves the Monkey Busters, the women have taken to patrolling their neighborhood in Fukui, armed with air guns and dressed in aprons. Fukui has long had an issue with these pesky apes. A spokesperson for the village told the local news site that the animals were first spotted in the area in 2015. In a recent effort to keep the apes at bay, area officials began teaching villagers how to scare them away. A gang of some 20 apes are believed to be behind the most recent theft of vegetables from the town.
Wow.
So now they have the Monkey Busters are protecting the town from the vegetable-eating apes that come in from the forest.
See the picture of them?
Wow.
Let me see again. I was reading the card. Let me see. I didn't look. That's the picture. That's the picture of the Monkey Busters.
I need to see a movie of the Monkey Busters. Like, look, it even says it here. The only movie I'm interested in seeing in 2021 is clearly
The Monkey Busters.
Me too. Shoot.
That's really funny.
Me too.
That is really funny. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.